In this video, I will show you how to recreate the intro of the most viral video from Issac's channel. After watching this tutorial, you can edit any video in his style. So let's get started. So here is our reference. I just downloaded it from his YouTube channel. Let's take a look at the reference once.
My shorts channel has over 20 million views and many viral videos, but my recent shorts aren't really doing well. Most of them stuck after getting that first a few thousand views. Again and again and again, I need to break this cycle. So in this video, I will try to create a short completely from scratch, get at least 1 million views, and show how much money I made from it. Let's dive in.
Okay, so we're gonna create till this part, till he says let's dive in. So let us first create a sequence. Go to settings and keep the horizontal as 1920 and vertical as 1080. Rename the sequence as anything and click on OK. This will create our sequence. Now I'm just going to use the audio from his video that is already there. I'm just going to use this audio. You can create this kind of an AI audio using any text-to-speech software. I think Issac probably uses 11 Labs. He also mentioned it in one of his videos. So you can create this kind of an audio using any of the software, but I'm not gonna waste my time doing that and just start the edit. We'll need a few things before we start the edit. A few screenshots of YouTube channels, analytics and all, and some of the PNGs where his head is attached onto different bodies. Let's create a bin for images. And we're gonna import some of the images. I created this graphics using some PNGs from Google and just attaching the head to the body using Photoshop. So I'll just link all of these files on the description below so that you can just download and follow along. Let's import them to the project. So there are some screenshots of the YouTube channels as well, which we'll be using. So I'll attach them as well on the description. So at the beginning, you'll see the screenshot of the main page zooming in, some fire flames in the background, and a graphic of the folding hands coming in from this side, and then there is transition. So let's just recreate the first couple of frames. Okay, let's first change this to editing tab. That way we can have the reference on this side and the playback of the timeline on this side. So here's the reference. Okay, this is the PNG image. We'll just add it here. Let's just fit the image to the screen. Just play with the scale and the position. You should be good. Now to do the zoom in animation, you can do it using the scale keyframes here, but I like to use the transform effect. So let's just drag the transform effect to the image and uncheck this and press the shutter angle 180. So what this does is it gives a smooth motion blur whenever you do any keyframe animations in the screen. Now you will see that if you just do the scale, it is not scaling from the center because the anchor point is not at the center. So first we'll need to click here, select the anchor point here and bring this blue thing to the center of the screen. This as well. The second one as well. Overlap both the things. Now if you see that, okay, it is still not being in the center for some reason. So this is a bug that happens sometimes in Premiere. I'll just delete the transform effect again, drag it, click on the anchor points, drag this blue thing to the center. Now if you see the scale, it is coming from the anchor point which is in the center. So let's reset the scale value and do the keyframe animations. Let's go to the first frame, start a keyframe here by pressing this. Maybe just press the position also if you need to change it later, and go a few frames forward till here. Like this. Let me drag it down so that we see the entire page properly. Yeah, something like this. Now to make the animation smooth, we'll just select all the keyframes, right click, temporal interpolation ease in, then right click, temporal interpolation ease out. There is a faster way to do this. I just added the keyboard shortcut for the entire thing of the ease in and the ease out. So if I just reset the keyframes, you'll see that if I press the keys, it just does the ease in ease out by itself. I've already made a video on how to add the keyboard shortcuts for this. I'll attach that in the description as well. So when you use keyboard shortcuts instead of the right click this and this. It makes the job pretty fast because we're gonna use this ease in and ease out throughout the video multiple times. So after we do the zoom in, let's look at the reference. Some fire flames come at the background and this PNG images comes into the screen. So let's bring the PNG image now. This is the image we're gonna use. Let's place the position first. Here should be fine. Increase the scale also a bit. And we are gonna add the transform effect to this image as well. Untick this, change it to 180. Let's add some keyframes in the position here. A few frames forward, maybe here. Another one here. Here, let's just drag him out of the screen entirely at the first keyframe. Now, he'll come to the screen. If you look at the reference properly, animation goes a bit extra to the left and then settles here. So we're gonna do that. In this keyframe, we're gonna move a bit extra to the left and then settle here. Yeah, around here. It goes a bit extra and then settles. Let's just drag this out. Just drag the images out. Yeah, like this. So we can do the same thing here. Select and then ease in, ease out.
My shorts channel has over.
This thing is not being that smooth, so you just drag this position thing out and you'll see the graph is going up, coming down and then going up again. So it's not looking that smooth. Here what we can do is to make it smoother, we can just drag this thing up like this. Drag it like this. Yeah, just to make the graph smooth so that there is a smooth flow of the graph.
My shorts channel has over.
Maybe drag it out a bit as well. You need to play with the keyframes and the graphs to make the animation as smooth as possible.
My shorts channel has. My shorts channel has over.
Yeah, it looks better now. Try to keep the graphs smooth so that the animation is also smooth. And the higher this thing is, the faster the animation will be. So if you look at the animation, the lower this line is, the slower the animation is, and here at the peak, the animation is the fastest. And then it slows down again. Keep that in mind and then play with the graphs. Now we need to add these fire flames that are coming in the background. I just downloaded a stock from YouTube only. We're gonna use the first around like 4 seconds of the entire stock. So let's just drag it onto the screen. We're gonna drag this image above this. To remove the black thing, we're gonna just select the stock, go to the FX control and then change the blend mode to screen. It's a bit too slow, so we're gonna increase the speed by right clicking in the stock, go to speed duration and maybe increase it to 500%.
My shorts channel has over.
Yeah, this looks good. Now we're gonna drag it again. You're gonna copy it by pressing Alt and maybe just drag it a bit towards the right so that they don't start at the same time. And we need to change the direction of this part, the second one. We can go to effects and just search for a flip, and we can use the horizontal flip here on the second one. So the one fire comes here, the other one comes from here, and it ends around here.
My shorts channel has over.
You can play with the positions to see which thing, like which looks good. Okay, this should be fine. Now let's look at the next thing. After all these things are done, it changes to a different screen of the analytics board. We should have a transition in this part when he says 20 billion views. We don't need this image here, so we're gonna cut it and just add our next image, which is the dashboard of the analytics. Now play with the position and the scale of this one as well. Let's scrimp the screen similar to what is there on the reference, like this, quite zoomed in, and see how the animation works in here. So this is just a transition. Okay, let's add this transition as well. This transition is from some preset. I don't exactly know which that preset is, but I'm gonna use something similar. We're gonna go to Windows extension and go to Premiere Composer. This is a free plugin which you can use. It has some transitions for free. So this we're gonna use this shake and distort transition from here. This should be quite similar. So we're gonna add it And we don't need the sound effects for this one. Just let's just delete the sound effects, and the transition should be here.
Channel has over 20 million.
Yeah, now we'll see the animation. It goes towards the bottom right and highlights this thing.
Has over 20 million views. And
So we're gonna add the transform effect again. Add it to this image. Go to effects control. Here we are gonna change this thing to 180. Start a keyframe at the position and go a few frames forward till here. I'm gonna add another keyframe here and just drag this thing towards the top left and ease in and ease out the keyframes. So this ease in and ease out we need to do at all the keyframes to make the animation smooth.
has over 20 million views. And
I started a bit late, maybe around here.
has over 20 million views. And
You can start a bit late also. See where the keyframes look good and then do the animation.
many.
Okay, I'm gonna keep it here. You want to play with the position of the keyframes and the distance within the keyframes to find out which looks good. If you want, you can play with the graphs also a bit, so it is faster at the beginning and slows down at the end. Yeah, this looks better.
20 million views. And
Okay, let's start it from here only.
has over 20 million views. And
Okay, now let's see what to do next. Okay, we have to move this image out of the frame as well. So just select the image, go to the effects control and add a keyframe here and go a few frames forward and just drag him out like this, maybe towards the bottom right area. You can just drag the graphs like this so that it's a bit smooth. Yeah, this looks better, I think. Let's just play it once.
20 million views. And this channel has over 20 million views.
I think we can move it a bit ahead.
Over 20 million views. And channel has over 20 million views. And
Yeah, this is better. Also, one more thing you'll see is this scribble and kind of animation that comes to highlight the views. I downloaded some scribble animations. All of this will be in the description, and just select the one which fits with the video. I think this will work good, this one. Yeah, so I'm gonna just use that, add it above this image, change the blend mode to screen. Yeah, I just need to adjust the position and the scale. Maybe let's just put it here. Let's also keyframe this thing, decrease the scale a bit and just keyframe it here along the animation like this. Also ease in and ease out this as well.
20 million views. And 20 million views. And
Add some more keyframes so that it goes along with the background image properly.
20 million views. And
Yeah, this should be fine. Okay, now the next thing is this zooming out, the next screenshot coming in. Let's set the next screenshot around here. This doesn't need to be that long. So now we need to zoom out this image and then zoom in on this one. Okay, we already have the transform effect added for this one.
20 million views. And
Okay, let's drag it out a bit till maybe here. So let's start the scale animation here, keyframes. Let's keep the position also, we might need it, and just go a few frames forward, scale it out a bit. Also, since it's going to the left, we need to do this and then select them, ease in and ease out.
for 20 million views. And many
Okay, it's not looking that smooth because we haven't animated the second one. So let's set the transform for the second one as well. Change this to 180 and just scale this in along with the position keyframes. And ease in and ease out. Let's see how it looks.
and many viral.
Okay, the motion is not going properly. It is zooming out here, so the second also should zoom out around here. Let's just add the transform effect again and see where the first one zooms out. It zooms out around this area, so we're gonna keep the anchor point of the second one around this area as well. And just scale it a bit at the beginning. Go to the first keyframe, start, go a few frames forward and then scale it out like this. Yeah, now if we do the ease in and ease out,
And many viral.
make sure that the keyframes go till the end. I still feel like this motion is not aligning properly, so we're gonna have to adjust the position keyframes as well a bit. This much should work. Yeah.
In view. And many viral.
Yeah. Also make sure that the shutter angle is set to 180. Show that you get that blur. That blur makes the animation quite smooth. Okay, let's take a look at what's next. We can see another PNG coming up from here. When the zoom starts to happen, the PNG starts to show up. So I'll add another PNG. I'll just add this one. I couldn't find an exact replica of the image, so we can use something similar. Let's just set the scale and position for now. Add another transform to here, change this to 180, and we can just start the keyframes, position and scale, go a few frames forward. Okay, the scale is not needed here, I just have a habit to do it. So at the first keyframe we'll just drag him down and it will start showing up like this. We will have to ease in and ease out this one as well.
And many viral.
It's a bit too fast, so I'll drag out the keyframes. The scales keyframes are not needed in this one. Yeah.
And many viral. And many viral video. But
I deleted the wrong keyframes, sorry.
And many viral.
Yeah. I don't need the scale keyframe for this one. Yeah, we just need to drag this out a bit.
Many viral.
Yeah, also the background image was not going out straight because of this. The ease in was not down in the position keyframes. Now it should be good.
And many viral.
Yeah, let's drag out this image. Okay, the first image, okay, we can drag this in because it ends here only, so it's not needed. Now, okay, let's see what comes after this. Okay, one more thing, if you look at this animation, it has a little bit of bounce when it comes in. So in order to do that, we can just add an extra keyframe in between. We can just come here, add an extra keyframe so that it goes up a bit. And goes up and then comes back. There is no image in the bottom area, so we just need to drag this down and drag the second one a bit down as well. So we'll have that little bit of bounce.
Many viral.
The bounce is not that smooth because we didn't adjust the graphs yet. So if you look at the graphs, this should come smoothly. Let's just drag it up like this.
And many viral. Many viral. Many viral.
I'll just play with the distance between the keyframes and the animation of the graph to make the keyframe smooth.
Many viral video.
Okay, this should be enough. Now after this image just goes out of the screen and a transition comes in. So we can add another keyframe here, go a few frames forward and just drag him out of the screen like this. We need to adjust this graph as well.
Many viral videos, but
Yeah, this looks good. Now we just need to add a transition similar to this. It is from some another preset. Okay, let's add the transition later. Let's just create the next screen here before adding the transition. We'll need 3 reels. I just downloaded it from his page. We'll add these 3 reels in the screen. We don't need the entire reel, or just need the first 3-4 seconds. These are the 3 reels. Let's just position them properly on the screen. Now we'll need to add this text, this graph kind of animation, and some glow in the background. So let's start with the text first. Just press T to bring out the type tool and just type something. Number of views. Let's just go to the captions and graphics tab to change the font and all. Let's go with Montserrat bold. Let's decrease the size and position it properly here. Maybe we can increase the boldness a bit and go to extra bold. Also, let's just nest this text and the image together, because if you see in the reference, the image and the text are animating together. So if you nest it, it will be better. Okay, let's nest it later. Let's just add all the other text now. Before nesting the text in the clip, we need to do one more thing. We need to add some glow into the background of the clips. So for that, we can just go to effects, search for drop shadow, drag the drop shadow into our clip, change the color to red, because that's what they're in the example. I need to increase the softness by quite a bit, maybe around till here, till 300. You can play with the distance as well. Let's keep it 0. Opacity 50 is fine. You can increase the softness a bit more for this one. Let's give it 1000. Yeah. Now we can just copy the drop shadow by pressing Ctrl C and paste it to all the other clips. It seems a bit too much to me, so I'll just decrease the softness a bit more to 750, maybe for everyone. Now we can nest the clip and the text. Let's just drag it out first. This too. Nest this at the first image. This too. And this too. So I'll nest this two, and this two together. Now if you see that after the transition, all these 3, they come up from the bottom one by one. So we need to animate that thing. Let's just add our usual transform effect to the first one. Go to the effects control, change this to 180. Start the position keyframe at the beginning, go a few frames forward, add another keyframe. Now take it to the bottom for the first keyframe. Ease in and ease out this as well.
But my
okay, this is a bit too fast, so I'll just drag it out a bit.
video, but my recent
Yeah, this seems good. Now we can just copy, because the animation is the same, right? So we can just copy this animation and paste it to the other 2. Now they're coming at the same time, so to offset the timing, you can just drag it out like this, so that they come one by one.
But my recent short.
Yeah, this is much better. You'll also see this line, this red line coming throughout the screen. Yeah, let's just create this in Premiere Pro only. So for that, we can just come here, add new item, go to color matte, Press OK, select the red color, press OK, OK, and add it above everything here. Now go to FX control and select this pen tool. Just draw some kind of a line like this. Let's decrease the screen size a bit so that we can go out of the screen. We need to decrease the feather to 0 so that the line is sharp. And let's start here. Now we need to animate the line. So for that we can just use the crop effect. Let's drag the crop effect to the line and go to the first keyframe. Start the keyframe for this right thing. Add another keyframe and just increase this thing to 0. Increase this thing to 100. You can just increase the edge feather a bit so that this thing is not that sharp. Okay, let's just drag it a bit till here so it starts a bit late.
Shorts aren't really doing.
If you look at the reference, the animation is quite fast in the beginning and it slows down from here, around here. So for that we can just add another keyframe here and maybe just increase and decrease the value a bit so that it's faster and then slows at the end.
Shorts aren't really doing well.
Also you can just do the ease in ease out here as well.
Recent shorts aren't really doing well.
Just drag the keyframes around to see the pacing.
My recent shorts aren't really doing well.
Okay, this should be fine. Now that the screen is created entirely, we just need to do the 3D effect. To do this kind of a 3D effect, let's just nest all of this first. All of the elements in the screen. Okay, one more thing. We need to decrease the opacity of this line animation a bit. Maybe 75%. And also add the glow that we added for these clips. We'll just copy the drop shadow and add it to the line. Drop shadow is not showing here. I think we need to nest it first. Nest the line animation first and then add the drop shadow above. Yeah, now it's showing. Also that's softness a bit too much. Decrease the softness for this thing. Maybe till here. 150 should be fine. Adjust the opacity as to your liking. Now let's nest everything and do the 3D effect on top of that.
Shorts aren't really doing well.
Stay still here at the screen. So let's cut it off here and go to the effects tab and add a basic 3D. Just add this effect to the nested sequence. Go to the effects control panel. Decrease the distance to image a bit, maybe -5, and then we can do the swivel it till -10 should be fine. Also you can, if you want, you can tilt it a bit, -2 degree, -4 degree or something. Yeah, now go to the beginning, add the keyframes. Now go to the end and let's just change the position of the swivel to maybe +10. Okay, now the distance to image is a bit too low, so because we can see the black outlines here, so we'll just need to decrease the image, like increase the distance like this, -13, and do the ease in ease out here as well.
Video, but my recent shorts aren't really doing well.
Okay, now we can add the transition above everything here from this screen to this screen. Let's just use the Premiere Composer again. Go to the starter pack, transition. We'll use the pan, this one, the pan to the top. Okay, for some reason after adding the transition, the glows turn a bit weird. The glow that we added turns a bit weird. So we'll just select this, go to the FS control panel and just turn this thing off. This alpha adjusted mask. Yeah, if I just turn this thing off, it should be fine.
Video, but my
also, I think we don't need the animation for this image. Let's just turn the animation off for the first one, first clip I mean. Yeah, this would be fine.
viral video, but my recent shorts
and drag them a bit forward. This too, so that they come a bit sooner on the screen.
video, but my recent shorts aren't really doing.
Yeah, they should be fine. Let's take a look at what we did till now.
My shorts channel has over 20 million views and many viral videos, but my recent shorts aren't really doing well. Most of them stuck.
Okay, I still think that this zoom out that happens here is not as smooth. So the main issue here is, if you look at the graphs of the animations, this is where the cut happens for the first screenshot. So we want the speed to be maximum when the cut happens. Here you will see that the speed increases and then slows down. Same here, speed increases and then slows down. So we want the speed to be maximum at the cut. So this is the cut for the first one. So let's just convert it to linear first. Select all the keyframes, right click, temporal interpolation, linear, and now just right click and then go to ease out. This will make sure that the graph is smooth and the speed is maximum towards the end. You have to do the same with the second one. Here you'll convert this to linear first and then make this as ease in. See, now if you look at the graphs, here the speed slowly increases and here it slowly decreases. So the maximum speed is during the cut.
And many viral.
Yeah, now it's much smoother. Also the image that comes at the first, I think it goes a bit too much. So we need to decrease the distance of it going. This much is fine.
My shorts channel has over.
After changing the values, just make sure that the graphs are also smooth. Like this. Yeah, now it should be fine. Let's take a look at the reference of what to do next. After this screen, there is a zoom into another screenshot of this animation happening in the graphs.
Stuck after getting that first a few thousand views again and again and again.
For the zoom, we can just add a transition, but the next thing that comes on the screen is this analytics of the shots along with this graph and a red animated line. So this is the only thing in this video that we need to create in After Effects. Making this animated line will be a very headache if you do it in Premiere. Let's just do it in After Effects and come back to Premiere after that. Let us now import all these screenshots that we need to add the line animation. We'll import it here. Create a new composition. It's 1920 by 1080, 24 fps, and click on OK. Now let's add the first image to the composition. Press S to bring out the scale and scale it properly like this. Also you can press Shift P to bring out the position along with the scale and change the position also like this. Now let us zoom in at the line animation here. You can zoom in by scrolling the mouse wheel, and you can pan the screen here by holding H and dragging the screen. Now I need to select the pen tool and make a line above this. The line is too thick, so we'll decrease the stroke size here. 5 should be fine. And change the color to red. The fill color to red. Oh sorry, not the fill color, change the stroke color to red. We don't need the fill, just turn it off by pressing here on the fill text and clicking here as none. So we'll just need the stroke with this 5 and the color of the stroke is red. Yeah, make sure that you select the last endpoint first and then start to continue the line. Yeah, now that the line animation is done, the animation is not done, the line is done, we can add the animation now. Just click here on the shape layer, click on this small arrow beside the shape layer, and here click here beside the add and add a trim path. Now just open up the trim part and start the keyframe of this end. Now go a few frames forward. Let's keep the composition length as 4 seconds. Yeah. We'll start the animation at the beginning and go till the, let's drag it out till the end, everything, and go till the end. Add another keyframe. Now if you go to the beginning and decrease the end percentage to 0, you'll see that as you move, the speed increases. Also, one more thing we can do is change the composition settings to 60 fps because we might need to slow this down in Premiere Pro. Yeah, we also need to add the glow thing here in the line animation. You can just add a normal glow from the effects and presets. Add a normal glow, but I like to use the deep glow. This deep glow is much better. Change the radius and the exposure according to your liking, and we should be done. Yeah, so the first one is done. Now just export it. Okay, once the first one is exported, you can start adding the next images and creating the same thing over them. Yeah, just make sure that the scale and position of the next image is same as the first one, because if you look at the reference, the scale and position is the same in every cut, so we need that to be similar. You can just copy and paste the scale values from the previous image. Just hold Ctrl and click on the scale and position value, Ctrl C to copy and Ctrl V to paste, so it will be the same. Now just bring on the pen tool and do the same thing over again in this one as well. Once you animate all the lines in After Effects, you just import them in Premiere Pro and start adding them one by one. So this will be the first one.
Aren't really doing well. Most of them stuck after getting that first a few thousand views.
And this will add the second one here.
Again, 1,000 views. Again and again and again.
And the third one should be here. And
again and again. And again.
Fourth one should be here.
I'm stuck after getting that first.
Yeah, the line, if you look at the reference, the line animation goes pretty fast in the beginning and then slows down at the end. So to do that, we can enable time remapping for this first one. Just right click here, time remapping speed, and then towards the end around here, press P on the keyboard and bring out this tool. Just add a point, press V to bring out the selection tool, and then decrease the speed towards the end.
Most of them stuck after getting that first a few thousand views.
Also, you need to increase the speed at the beginning, like this. Make it faster in the beginning and then much slower at the end.
Most of them stuck after getting that first a few thousand.
This will then also be a bit faster. 90 should be fine. Yeah, just play with the speed to see whatever looks good.
Most of them stuck after getting that first a few thousand views.
These other ones, you can just increase the speed of them, maybe to around to 50%. Let's see.
Views again and again.
Yeah, around it. Yeah, just have a little variation so that it doesn't look exact.
1,000 views again and again and again.
Yeah, the last one we need to decrease the speed a bit. The last one can be around 150. Now we just nest all the line animations into one sequence. So from this screen to the next screen there is a zoom in transition. We can use our extension again, the Premiere Composer, and add this transition. Zoom in. Okay, we don't need the sound effect here. Just delete the sound effect and add the zoom in. Yeah, this thing is coming up again, this weird red thing because of the glow. So just go to the effects control panel, select the top one, and turn this thing off. Alpha adjusted mask.
Doing what most of them stuck.
Let's look at the reference how the animation is done. This animation straight at the beginning, slow zoom in and just rotate towards the right a bit till I need to break this cycle. Okay, so we can add the transform effect for this as well, and just change it to 180. Add a keyframe for position, scale and rotation.
Most of them stuck after getting that first a few thousand views again and again and again.
Till here. Let's scale it out. Change the position and the rotation a bit. This 7 degrees should be 8 degrees should be fine. Also we'll need to increase the scale because there are a lot of black lines. And the position, change the position. Yeah, now it looks much better. Now just change this to ease in and ease out. You can do it using the keyboard shortcuts.
Really doing what most of them stuck after getting that first a few thousand views again and again and again.
Now when it says I need to break this cycle, this thing just goes back to its original place. In order to reset the values, you can just click on this thing and this thing, so it goes back to the original place, and press F9 F10 for this one as well.
Few thousand views again and again and again. I need to.
Okay, the speed needs to be increased, so I'll just bring the keyframes closer.
And again, I need to.
Yeah, this is much better. When it goes back, there is this image that comes up. I couldn't find an exact image, so I'm just gonna use this one. It's a bit similar.
And again, I need.
Okay, let's start the image from here. Let's add the transform to this one as well and see if things are proper. Yeah, like always check this if the anchor point is in the right position with the transform, or else it will have some weird rotation and scale animations. Okay, it's fine for this one. So the position here should be like this. Change the scale value as well. Add keyframes for position, scale and rotation, and just go to the beginning and just bring it down with a little bit of rotation. Add a little bit of rotation to match this thing. Bring it down like this and just ease in and ease out the keyframes.
And I need to.
Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, if you look at the reference, it goes up and then tilts to the left a little bit and then comes into position. In order to do that, we can just go to the FX control and before the final position, add a keyframe with the change the rotation value to the left. And also you can just copy the position value here. Hold Alt and just drag this position value, it will copy the value till here. Now let's see how it looks.
And I need to.
Okay.
And I need to break.
Yeah, it looks good. And there is no motion blur because we didn't turn it off. And change the shutter angle.
And I need to.
Yeah, now it looks much better. Now when it says break this cycle, we just need to increase the scale of this image.
To break this cycle.
Till here.
Break this cycle.
Now just increase the scale value to whatever you want. Yeah, it's going to the right a little bit, so we'll just adjust the position and bring it to the proper place. We can't play with the anchor points after we enter keyframes, so we'll just have to do it manually. Just add the rulers to have a guide of where his face or eye is, and just place the eyes. Place it in the proper line, this eye, so it should be good. Now just add the ease in and ease out keyframes for this one as well, for all the keyframes.
And I need to break this cycle.
Also we can increase the speed by dragging them closer.
And I need to break this.
Okay, and by the way, if you're not getting these lines, these guidelines, you can just press here on the show rulers, and if the show rulers are not here, just click on this button editor, and from here you can add this show rulers here. Press OK. It should be here on the, I don't know what this is called, but it should be here on this area. Now there is just a zoom out kind of a transition to the next screen. Yeah, let's just have the cut here and add our next image onto the dark background. Let's just import it here first and just add it there. Let's decrease the size like this and adjust the position maybe. Also, if you want, if it doesn't look properly in the center to you, you can just adjust the value here to bring it in the center. This will not hamper any animations done in this area, so you can do that. Now we just need to add a zoom out effect, so we can use our usual Premiere Composer extension and go to transitions, zoom out, just drag it here. Yeah, this should be fine. Also, we need to add the glow to the background of this image. So we already added the glow animation here previously, so you can just go inside this and copy the drop shadow and paste it here. In order to change the color, you can just come here and just change it to anything you like. Now if you see, it rotates a bit and transform into this reel. So now we need to do that. Let's start the rotation from around here. So let's play the sequence once.
Need to break this cycle. So in this video,
This weird thing is coming here also. So you have to click here, go to the FX control panel and just turn this thing off. Alpha adjust mask.
this cycle. So in this video, I will try.
Rotate this from this part. Let's add the transform effect here. Change the shutter angle to 180. Okay, the anchor point is at the center, so we don't have to do anything to that. Let's click on the position and the rotation and the scale. Let's go a few frames forward.
I will try to.
Now we can rotate it 90 degree. Yeah, for some reason the anchor point is not working here, so I have to delete this transform and add it again and see if it works now. The anchor point is here, but it's not working. This is the issue with Premiere. It always has some useless bugs. So yeah, keep deleting the transform effect till it works. Yeah, now it's working. I don't know, for some reason I had to place the transform over the drop shadow for the rotation to work properly. These are some weird bugs. I don't know what they do. Why Adobe doesn't fix these things. Okay, so let's do the rotation now.
I will try to.
From here we'll do the rotation, add a position keyframe, scale keyframe, rotation keyframe.
I will try to.
Yeah, here rotate it 90 degree and also decrease the scale a bit, or maybe 280. Yeah, this should be fine. The position, I don't think we need to do anything to the position. Looks fine only. Let's delete the position keyframe, it's not needed. So now we'll just change it to ease in and ease out by pressing the F9 and F10 button, by pressing the shortcut keys. Now go to the first keyframe, and from here we have to do the same motion in our clip as well. So let's import the clip to the timeline first. This is our clip. Let's import it here, cut it short, don't it that long. Let's cut it short, and first just rotate it by -90 degree and place it like this and place it over this thing. Yeah, place it over our image, the back image. Also maybe decrease the opacity a bit to have it properly aligned to the photo. It doesn't have to be exact, just make sure that it's close enough. Now increase the opacity and go to the FX control panel and the transform here as well. Check the anchor point. The anchor point is the center, and see if the rotation works from the center or not. Yeah, it works. So it should be good. Now change the shutter angle to 180 and see where we did the rotation. We did the rotation from here, right? So yeah, let's start the rotation keyframe from here and see where we ended. We'll go to here. We ended here, so we'll go here and rotate it by 90 degrees. What the hell, this weird bug is happening again. The anchor point is the center, but still it's rotating like this. Let's just delete it first, do it again. Yeah, now it worked. This is the thing with Premiere. Too many useless bugs. So yeah, now it worked. Just change the shutter angle to 180. Okay, for some reason when I change the shutter angle it's not working. So let's just keep it. It's not that important, the shutter angle thing, for this movement. So I'll just keep it like this, and we'll need to decrease the scale also. So we'll decrease the scale to 80, same as the previous one. I'll increase the opacity, then change the keyframes to ease in and ease out. Now you'll see that is,
I will try to.
yeah, both of them move together.
I will.
When the half of the movement is done around here, we can cut it till here and maybe add some kind of a cross dissolve by just right clicking and adding a default transition. Decrease the cross dissolve a bit, or just adjust the length to what you want, and this image will slowly dissolve into the clip like this. Okay, if you look at the reference, you'll also see some kind of a glitch blur kind of a thing happening. So for that we can just create an adjustment layer, place it on top of this transition, and don't need to make it that long. Just start from here when the transition starts, and it may be here, and go to the effects tab, add some kind of a blur. I will go with directional blur. I'll just add it over, go to effects control, click on adjustment layer, and during the peak of the transition around here, I'll just increase the blur length by a bit, 20 or maybe 15, that's fine, and change the direction to whatever feels good, something like this, and just start the keyframe for the blur length here, and go to the first at the beginning of the adjustment layer, decrease the blur length to 0, go to the end and decrease it to 0 again, just drag it till the end. But first let's just select them and change them to ease in and ease out, and just drag it till the end. Yeah, looks much better.
I will try to.
Now let's look at the reference again. What's next?
I will try to create a short.
Okay, now we have to add these things, these elements that are coming. Okay, let's start adding them. We have to add them here below everything, because if you see, they go behind this clip later. So let's just drag these things to the top a bit so that we have space to add other stuff here. Okay, one more thing I missed here. You'll see that the color of the background shadow changes from this to this, yeah, when the transition happens. So here I should just decrease the length of this image, the background image here, yeah, something like this. Maybe add a cross dissolve similar to what the cross dissolve in this one. Decrease the length of the cross dissolve like this, and just copy the Gaussian blur from here. Just copy the drop shadow from this image by pressing Ctrl C, paste it in this clip by pressing Ctrl V, and change the color to something else. Let's go with yellow or a bit orange kind of thing. Now you will see that it fades, the color also changes. Now we need to just bring out these things, all the elements. For these things I downloaded some icons. I'll just import them to Premiere Pro and start adding them onto the timeline. So this is the light bulb. Just place them onto the timeline for now. No need to arrange. Light bulb, docs. This is this thing. This is the music. This is this T or something. The other one is some kind of a potion.
I will try to create.
After adding them, just position them properly onto the screen. So after arranging these things, you'll see that there is some kind of a white background behind everything. So for that we can just click here, add a new color matte, click on OK, just select the color as this, whatever is here, and click on OK. Let's bring these things a bit more above. Now we can just place the color matte behind them. First place it behind the first one, and select the color matte, go to FX control, click on this thing, 4-point polymask, and just drag the mask to here. You can also select the edges and bring them closer. By using the shift and arrow, it moves quite a bit, so use the shift and arrow to change the position of everything. Also, if you just see here, there is a point here which you can drag to change the curvature of the mask. So I'm gonna change it to something like this, and then select them and make it the proper size. Select the edges and make it the proper size. Okay, this looks fine to me. We just need to decrease the feather to 0. Maybe just drag around the mask to position it properly. This looks fine. Now we can just copy this color matte and add it to the next image, below the next image, and select this color matte, click on the mask, and you can drag it to the next one like this. You can do the same with the other ones as well. Just drag the color matte, duplicate the color matte, drag it below the next image, click on the color matte, then click on the mask and just drag the mask like this. Okay, now let's just first group them together so that we can animate them together as well. So the portion, this one will be together. Just snatch them like this, lash them like this. Let's keep this color matte for now because we need to copy it. Just drag and copy, click on the mask, change the position, nest the previous ones. You need to nest all the background and the icon that is attached to that background together. Yeah, but we need to also copy the color matte first. So once you create the background for all the icons, just nest all of them one by one, and now we can start animating these icons. So you will see the animation, it comes from the bottom and goes above with a slight fade in. So you can use a transform effect for this one as well. So let's just a transform, let's paste it on the first one. Go to the effects control panel, click this, go to the beginning, start a position keyframe. Let's change the shutter angle to 180 and start an opacity keyframe. So now if you go a few frames forward, add another keyframes for both of them. Go to the beginning and just drag it down like this and decrease the opacity to 0. Select the keyframes, ease in and ease out. It's a bit too fast, so we'll slow it down a bit by dragging the keyframes like this. Yeah, the position of this end position doesn't look good, so you can just adjust it from here, from the motion, if you don't like the final position of this, so that we have the same animation. Now that we have the animation for the first one, we can just copy this transform effect and add it to all the other ones as well, so that we will have the same animation for all of them. Now you can just offset the sequences a little bit to have different timings of the animations coming up. Something like this.
Create a short.
Or maybe drag all of them a bit more.
Create a short.
Yeah, a bit more. Just offset them till you get what you want.
Create a short.
These two are colliding. These two. So which are these two? I should have renamed all the sequences first, but yeah, it's fine. Just check them out from here.
Create a short.
Yeah, now it looks fine. If you don't like the position of any one of them, you can just adjust this from the motion thing here. Just select the thing, just adjust it from the motion. Also, I think the scale of this size is too big. So let's just decrease the size of all of them from the FS control. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't show even if you're selected. So just unselect it and select it again. Yeah, let's just decrease it to 85% maybe and adjust the position. Same with the other ones. Yeah, the icons were getting a bit too big. Now the size looks much better.
Create a short.
Also, you can offset the timing a bit. I don't like the timing of this icons coming up, so I'll just offset it a bit differently.
Create a short.
Yeah, now it's fine. You can play with the offsetting thing here to come up with whatever you like.
Create a short.
Okay, this is fine. Now let's look at the reference. What's done next?
Try to create a short completely.
So when it says completed from scratch, all of them go inside here behind the clip. Okay, so let's just drag it out, all the things, and this also have to drag it out. So let's go inside. First drag these things out, then you can drag this out as well. Okay, so from here I'll just bring them inside this one by one. Click the nested sequence, go to the effects control, click it again to show it. Now to bring them inside, you can just create another position keyframe here and go a few frames forward. Just drag them like this and maybe a bit to the bottom so that it goes towards the center. Let's see if the scale is decreased here or not. Yeah, the scale is not decreased, so this is fine. This one, the first one is fine. Just offset all the values a bit. So for the second one, we can start a bit ahead from here. Maybe go to the FX control, click the nested sequence, just do the same thing and just change the Y value a little bit so that it goes towards the center. Yeah, it's a bit too short, so they increase the length. Same with the third one, just keyframe animate all of them. You can offset the values a little bit. The timing doesn't have to be perfect for all of them. Even if they come at a different time, it looks fine.
Create a short completely.
Okay, for some reason the motion of this thing is weird. This second one. Yeah, because I didn't create an extra keyframe here. So I'll just copy this keyframe slightly.
Create a short completely from scratch.
Yeah, now it's much better. Yeah, we don't need the extra stuff here, so just trim it down. Also, we need to increase the size of this thing from here, from this completely from scratch area. So we can just add a keyframe for the scale, go a few frames forward and maybe increase it to 90.
Or completely from scratch.
Now let's take a look at this sequence once.
Theo, I will try to create a short completely from scratch.
Maybe we can increase the scale a bit more. So yeah, let's just select this. Let's scale it to 95, maybe 100 only. Yeah, 100 is fine.
Or completely from scratch.
Yeah, this is fine. Now let's take a look at the reference.
Short completely from.
One more thing comes in the screen, this squiggle kind of thing. I provided a pack earlier which had that glowy kind of things that we added here in the beginning. This from this pack. You can add some other glow animation from this pack only. So I'm not gonna show this thing. Let's move ahead. What's the next thing here? If you look at the reference, you can add the glow from the pack.
Get at least.
Yeah, now this thing goes up.
At least 1
and the text comes up here.
million views.
Okay, for that we can just select this clip, go to our effects control panel again, select the clip, add a keyframe for position, add another keyframe for scale. Okay, but before we do that, we have to add the text thing that comes. If you look at the reference, the text, this 1 million view text and this clip, they animate together. So we have to add the text first.
Get at least
from here. So we can just go to our extension, Premiere Composer, and use a text preset. This decode and fade characters, we can use the first one. Let's go to the captions and graphics tab to adjust our text and all. Let's change the text first here. Also change the font and all. Okay, the text is not visible, so if you change the position of the text, you can change it from here or here. Let's do it here. Also the animation speed is quite slow.
At least 1 million views.
So we'll increase the animation speed from here. This animation in speed is 100. Let's increase it to 200.
At least 1 million views.
Looks fine to me. Then we decrease the size a bit, adjust the position and change the color fill to something like yellow. And we can just copy the drop shadow color from this clip to here. Okay, now it looks fine.
I will try to create a short completely from scratch. Get at least 1 million views.
Okay, now we have to animate this text and the clip. Let's just cut the clip around here so that we can nest them.
Scratch. Get at least.
Go to the effects, add transform here. Change the shutter angle to 180. The position, add the keyframe position and scale. Yeah, now go a few frames forward. Increase the position here. Increase the scale as well. Yeah, let's just position it to around here. We increase the size a bit more around here. Now one thing you'll see here that the glue gets cut off here a bit. I think that's probably because we nested the sequence here and we moved the sequence up, so the glue is stuck here. So to fix that, we have one option. We can decrease the softness of the glue so that it doesn't go out that much of this text, and see how it works. Yeah, now it's fine.
Should get at least 1 million views.
Now the next thing would be to add some more keyframes
Show how much
and then bring it down like this. Let's look at the reference.
get at least 1 million views and show how much money I made from it. Let's
Now we just have to add this text overlay over this. Now let's just make this animation smooth first. Select them, ease in and ease out.
show how much
And the text will start from here. So we'll go to our extension again, Premiere Composer, and add this decode and fade characters. And I'll just add a random figure. Yeah, something like this should be fine. Increase the size, change the font to something else. Yeah, this should work. Change the color to green.
million views and show how much money I
Yeah, also you can increase the speed of this animation. It's to 250 this time.
views and show how much money
Also this is getting cut off, so we'll just have to increase the length of this clip inside the sequence. And you have to drag this thing down as well a bit. You can just do it from here only, from this position keyframes. Add another keyframe, go to the first keyframe, drag it up a little bit. Yeah, maybe drag it up a bit more. And also ease in and ease out. Okay, now we just have to blur this text. For that we can go to Effects and search for Mosaic Blur. Mosaic blur is not there, so we'll add this mosaic. Change the value of these blocks, increase the value so that we can blur it out a bit. Something like this should be fine.
and show how much money
Yeah, just change the values a bit so that it's not clearly visible.
get at least 1 million views and show how much
Okay, I think we have one more last thing to do for the intro now.
from it. Let's
Yeah, from here the last transition comes. So we can just fade this one out, just drag it down and fade it out by applying a default transition, and rotate it like this, similar to what we did earlier. Yeah, just drag these things out a bit. Okay, this 1 million view is getting out also, so from here we can just right click and add frame hold, so it will not animate after that. Let's just drag it out here also. So now we can go to this nested sequence, go to the FS control, and from here we can add position keyframe, rotation keyframe, and the scale keyframe. Let's see how the rotation happens. It goes like this, 90 degree to the left. So you can go -90 and decrease the scale. Go towards the center maybe a bit. Yeah, ease in and ease out everything. Okay, now we can just go to the start of this animation and add the image. This needs to come. Add the image here. Go to the FS control, just rotate it by 90 degree and just overlap it properly. Now we can add the transform effect for this one. Go to position, scale, and rotation here. Go to the second keyframe where it ends, and here you can do the rotation by -90 degree. Decrease the scale and the position, fix the position. Now you can just ease in and ease out everything, so both of them will rotate at a similar shape like this. It doesn't have to be exact, it just needs to be similar. And for the bottom one, we can just drag it here till here and fade it out after half the animation. Just close it, decrease the length. Oh sorry, I did it opposite. Let's reset, and we can just fade this thing in from here. And and fade this thing out from here, like around here. Yeah,
Let's dive in.
yeah, looks much better. Let's look at what happens at the end.
Views and show how much money I made from it.
So yeah, this seems fine.
Let's dive in.
Only the glow changes in the background, so we can add the glow from this one. Let's just copy the glow and add it. So yeah, this seems pretty much done. Let's take a look at how it came out.
My Shorts channel has over 20 million views and many viral videos, but my recent shorts aren't really doing well. Most of them stuck after getting that first a few thousand views. Again and again and again, I need to break this cycle. So in this video, I will try to create a short completely from scratch, get at least 1 million views, and show how much money I made from it. Let's dive in.
Yeah, that's it. I think the only thing left here is the subtitles now. The subtitles are very easy to create, so I won't show them. I already have a tutorial on how to create subtitles on Premiere Pro, so you can check that out. I'll link it in the description as well. So yeah, that's it for the tutorial.